Art therapy, if you look at it on the clinical side, is a mental health profession. In general, we use art instead of verbal connection with the clients. And with that comes a clinical approach. So that means they may be doing a biopsychosocial, they may be doing a treatment plan, they may be, those things are kind of woven in. So they are addressing serious mental health challenges as well as severe trauma. So when you're working with that, that's a specialty kind of field that somebody has to be very prepared for, because if they're creating art in response to a tragedy, a loss, a trauma, they're creating art and they're speaking through their art. So then we're holding a space as art therapists to allow them to do that, as well as acknowledging their struggles to that challenge and being able to kind of provide maybe response art or have them continue to do a series of art to either desensitize themselves to the trauma or continue to kind of develop coping skills to help them get through the trauma. So there's a lot woven into art therapy in itself, and it is a profession. Let's just take art in itself, and art in itself we believe is therapeutic. Whether you're working with an art therapist or not, if you create art, there's something that happens. And we know that because what we know is that people get into the zone, right? So they kind of they lose track of time, it becomes autotelic, they're very into the moment, and that helps them relax, right? And we know that just from research, right? There's a lot of research on that shows that in the zone, when you get in the zone, it is a very positive experience. So that in itself is healing, right? And then with an art therapist, if you're pinpointing a specific trauma or mental health challenge, as I mentioned, it's even more because you're working with that, with that challenge and trying to address it.
On a psychological level, music can be beneficial for creating order. We have a natural tendency to follow musical patterns. So if those patterns are linked to other ideas or other patterns or processes, it can facilitate our memory. And this is especially helpful for people with developmental delays who sometimes have difficulty remembering, routine tasks. We can write songs like Scott is tying his shoe right now, shoe right now, shoe right now, things like that. So we use this, this is all, I'm sure that's familiar to you already. We use music as part of the education process. And this gets at what I was saying too when I saw the connection with the education. Anyway, it can also be useful for reality orientation. For example, people who are coping with schizophrenia and other kinds of psychosis, who sometimes have a difficulty distinguishing between reality and what's in their head. Music can help to ground people in the moment. It promotes mindfulness, which can be helpful on many, many levels. Okay, then there's also the spiritual element of music, which can be healing, and that can be used for treating addictions and other compulsive and impulsive behaviors, because often we classify that as a spiritual malady because there's a sense of emptiness that would lead us to seeking fulfillment in some external source. So often people will turn to drugs or gambling or whatever the behavior is, whereas music can sort of fill that hole. It gives a deep sense of satisfaction, and so people can use that as a sort of an anchor. The lyrics of songs can be really powerful as well. Lyrics can be used to validate somebody's experience. Sometimes people just need validation. It can also be used to redirect reorient someone's script in another direction. We talk about flipping the script. You could take a song, even a popular song that people already know, and then rewrite the lyrics or add another verse. Okay, this song speaks to where you're at now. Let's add another verse that says where you want your life to go. Okay, there's a lot of physical areas that can be helped by music. For example, singing or playing a wind instrument can be really helpful for respiratory disorders. And the point is that music can also help the person process the emotions.
It's like, it's the most wonderful thing for the soul, you know. Wonderful thing about playing the guitar, you feel it on your body. And you feel it under your fingers. And it's an instrument that you interact with. I'm used to that. I love that. I don't want that to change, you know, any of that stuff. It's just the most wonderful feeling as a musician when you grab a hold of the instrument that you love. It becomes part of you, and that's all there is to it.